A Lost Century of Sports collection is based on actual vintage newspapers. Here's an example of a folio from football, and here's one of the older images from 1861. It's football during the Civil War. Also 1865 Civil War. And these moved through the 1870s and the 1880s now. They're from Leslie's Weekly and Harper's Weekly. The smaller ones are Harper's Young People. This one's not even about football. This is the cane rush, a hazing ritual which the universities tried to get rid of, and they thought that this sport here, this great sport of football, would be a good replacement for the cane rush. So this is from 1882, this is from 1889, and this is progress. Here's the earliest drawing by Frederick Remington, great American artist. There are several of his drawings in here. Some of these are based on what they called instantaneous photos. The cameras were able to capture the action, but the lenses and the film were not fast enough to show it clearly, so they would have artists draw it in. And there are a lot of examples of that in here. Both of these are from Frederick Remington, Harper's Weekly. Injuries have always been a part of the game. These are from the 1890s. The bottom one again is Remington. These two are by Charles Dana Gibson. He's most famous for the Gibson Girl, who you see here playing football. And both of these are from 1895 and were published in Life magazine. This one is the first Army-Navy game in 1892. And down here, another Remington. 1892 guys were already football heroes. That's the cover of Puck magazine. Some of them are smaller, so they don't show up as large, obviously. And then we cross over into an era of photography, where first they had pictures of static players before they were able to print action. This is the Army team and the Navy team in the 1890s. This is from Harper's Young People, and the article is written by and features the first black All-American football player, William Henry Lewis. He was an All-American in 1892. This article is from 1896. This is one of those transitional moments where they're able to take some photographs, but not really of action. It's before the action starts. When they want action, they have to resort to an illustration. So you get both the standard stock photographs as well as an action illustration. These are noteworthy because of the coaches of the two teams. This is the University of Georgia, and their coach is Pop Warner, famous for the youth football league that he later founded. And over here, this guy's not even credited, but it's the Auburn team, and that coach in this one-legged pose is more famous for another pose, the trophy that bears his name. That's Coach John Heisman. Some more photographs, and by 1900, this game looks a lot like the game we play today. The size of these is 11 by 17. Some of them are smaller, and others are larger. So for the larger ones, these are centerfolds, double-page spreads. And they're 22 inches by 16 inches. Here's the oldest one. It's 1857, Harper's Weekly. Very famous image. And in the 1870s, the Wall game in England. Here are some great action shots. You notice the quality of the original is not necessarily that great. They're broken, yellowing, missing some spots. but they still look pretty good considering they're 120 years old and older. Another Remington here. Here's another transitional piece where they have a photograph in the middle of the guy standing there, but all of the action is based on instantaneous photographs. Here are some of those photographs. A few show them in action, but they're generally posed as opposed to being during the course of the game. And here's one of the cool color images, the hero of the hour. It's the same as here. The difference is this one is 1892, this one is 1897. So that's an example of the football images. And that's where they come from for this book, Classic Football Art. So there are the images that you've just seen, as well as some others that are in other folios. The Remingtons that were in not great condition have been cleaned up. So this image, for example, was torn apart but has been repaired. And all of the markings have been removed so that it's a nice clean looking book. That's Classic Football Art. That's the collection. Hope you enjoy.